down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone.
And then every player on the ice has a 10-minute misconduct.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 10-Minute Misconduct. I'm so glad you're with us tonight. We actually have crossover night. We got Sean from Benchminer in the house. We got Sam, our other host. Derek from Benchminer may be dropping in at some point, and we got Schmitty joining us. So we're going to start off. We've got a badass lineup for you guys. We got four amazing legends in the house tonight. So let's get started with Schmidt. But really quick, before we get started, we're running everything live, and we've never done anything like this. We don't know anyone that has. So if there's a little glitch here and there, just bear with us. We're going to do the best we can. But Schmitty, man, how you doing tonight?
Oh, this is live, eh? I didn't even realize this was live. So cool.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I literally just got off the phone with Josh Petrantonio, and I was like, yeah, I gotta be on this podcast, and he's like, oh, they're recording it. And I'm like, yeah, I think so. And then yeah, you guys throw it at me. Then we're live.
Throw a wrench at you. My bad. Sorry about that.
And I can censor my talk. No, I'm good. Just we came off 3-3. We're definitely chasing Elmira for that last playoff spot in our division. And I mean, with we have the tools. We have the tools there. We just don't have the toolbox quite yet. I mean, there's still a quarter of the season left.
Right.
I'm trying to help these kids as much as I can, and just be like, hey guys, I know it seems frustrating where you're at right now, but at the end of the day, if you choose to become a 40-year-old hobo that travels from town to town, and like this will help you grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, with this past weekend, do you know that goal? Can we talk about the goal? I know that they called a goal against you guys, which was very clearly not a goal, and no hate to the Bears. I know shit happens in the Fed, but how the team deal with that? Because that goal that didn't happen caused overtime and then a shootout. So let's hear about that.
I've always in my whole career, I've always managed to stay. I've always managed to stay political when it comes to the refs. I've always been like, you guys are doing the best you can with the tools you're provided. That game, I watched it on TV. I didn't go on that road trip. So I watched it at home on TV, and the whole game was just they really struggled, and then that was just kind of the cherry on top, I guess. Those guys, we all have bad nights. And I'm never gonna say refs are biased, but they definitely struggled that night. I guess it was just a really bad night for them. It's the same as if you're a goalie or you're a defenseman and you just are struggling, and they basically shit the bed. They threw up those officials didn't perform to the best of their abilities that night is all I can say. How we responded, I don't know how the room was. I talked to the boys after, and then I played against Elmira here at home. And you know what? I basically just said to the boys in the room before the game, I said, we got to put that one away. That same officiating team is reffing this game tonight. So, let's perform to the best of our abilities and do a job, but don't carry over that negative energy from Binghamton last night into this game, because it's just going to bury you or bury us,
Yeah.
No, Frank Schumacher, Schums from Port Huron.
Yeah.
He just texted me. He goes, I'm watching live. You better not talk shit about me. Like,
you got any funny stories about Frank?
You're live, and then I'm watching live. You're gonna talk shit about me. man, that guy's, in my humble opinion. So here we go. I'm gonna shine his pole a little bit, but that guy is probably, yeah, he's probably the best player in this league. In my humble opinion, I always looked up to the guys that, especially defensemen, that you don't notice. If you don't notice a great defenseman that's on the ice for 35 minutes a night, he's probably doing his job. And Shooms, you don't notice him. He's just so skilled. Every pass he makes, he's kind of a waste of talent in this league, I believe. But
Hey,
whatever.
Frank, get in touch with us, man. Come on, hang out with us. We can do an episode with you.
Yeah,
Get
I
you.
love him.
Yeah.
I'm so I've been so lucky in my career to have been able to play with and against so many amazing talents, and I get to admire their talent. It's the same as, like, if you're an artist, you can admire another painter's painting, and I get to, like, look at these players and be like, man, what are you wasting your career away in this nightmare for? But everybody's got their own thing.
For sure. What you got for us, Sean?
Yeah, so Schmitty, love the brutal honesty there. It is a nightmare of a league, but hey, it's a league we all love, right? So, so I am a Wolves fan. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not because I try to remain unbiased throughout the league, but they've been in the news for all the wrong reasons. So I guess my question is, what the hell is going on in Watertown? You guys got some talented players. I don't really know as far as, like, captaincy or coaching goes, but you've had some issues with ownership. What do you think is the real issue in Watertown that can be fixed?
You know what? I think after they won the championship, they beat us when I was in Columbus. They beat us in the finals, and then they, like, Mike Mercurio was the only player left from that championship team in our roster. Management kind of changed hands, and it's just a learning curve again. That we're almost like an expansion team again. I mean, we're in the right hands though. Like with Charlie Penn's, I truly do believe in Charlie Penn's leadership and what he's doing to move us forward. I mean, we're not in the prime location. We're not in Columbus. We're not in Mississippi or Baton Rouge. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to get players to come this far north when they could make the same money and live in the South, and the cost of living is half of what it is up here. But no, I do believe in this organization, and I do believe in the leadership. I mean, it was really hard for me. Like, Dustin Henning's my best friend in the world. I'll never have a better friend in the whole world than Dustin Henning. And him just needing to move on and going to Danbury with Billy McCreary, he was a rookie when I'd already been playing the minors for 4 years. Billy's his coach, and for that to happen, it was a big hit to our leadership role. But Tate Leeson's a great captain. I believe I 100% stand behind Tate. Like I said, it's a learning curve with these young kids. We have 15 rookies. Most of these kids have never moved out of their parents' house. Like, most of these kids weren't even alive my rookie year pro. So it's such a huge learning curve. But I mean, the talent's behind us, the organization is behind us, and it's just something we have to keep working on moving forward. We're gonna battle to make the playoffs, and I mean, like I said to the boys the other night, I said, either we make the playoffs or we don't. At the end of the day, you got to buy in for the next 15 games and do your best.
That's fair.
I'm sorry if that answers your question. I kind of went on a
You
rant,
did.
but
That's what we're here for. Story time.
yeah. No, but I truly believe, like, we're as far, like, I mean, I know we're the most we've won the most championships in this league. But I mean, with ownership and management changing hands, we're like the Baton Rouge team or the Mississippi team or any of those new teams in the league, right? Like it's all a learning curve for these young men, you know.
True that. It's just tough. I won't say tough, but just being a fan of Watertown and watching Watertown since Thousand Islands Privateer days, a lot of fans in the Watertown area, they expect results. Like they win, you know what I mean? So to see a season like this, I'm not talking about myself. I can handle a loss. I get that. But fans, man, Watertown, they're diehards. They want to see wins. They want to see wins now. So when you're hanging out in last place, it's tough.
It's man, it's tough for me. Like, imagine, yeah, I know, I understand those fans, but for me, like, I don't know when my last year is going to be. I always promised myself that I would play until the wheels fell off, you know. But when it starts getting down to it, I know that my last nights are coming, you know. I don't know when my last game is going to be, you know. So it's like it's terrifying. So I mean, for those fans that are sticking with us through a losing season, it's like, man, imagine what it feels like for a 39-year-old who's grinding through a losing season, you know. So just stay with us, and we're like, these boys are doing their best, you know. You can't know what you don't know, you know. They're some of these kids have never lived outside their parents' house, and all of a sudden they get, you know, this is their first experience of pro hockey, you know. So I mean, the fans will stick by us because they love hockey, and the true fans. You know, I honestly believe that we have the tools in the toolbox to make the playoffs, and then, you know, you guys know as well as I know, in this league, shit, make the playoffs, anything can happen, you know.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
So I got a flashback story question. At one point, when you were in Columbus, there were 5 guys in the penalty box. All 5 of them being dragons. You were one of them. And some people were taking pictures and stuff, but you kind of were tucked away. It almost looked like you were in the zone. You were trying to get in the right mindset or something at that point. What was going on at that point in your head? That
Oh, Jesus, a lot of it all depends. I mean, I try to interact with the fans as best I can. But a lot of times during the game, I'm so zoned out, especially if I have to fight another man. Like, if I have to go out and fight another 250-pound human being, like, you know, you're basically risking death. You know, you're standing on two knives basically, and, you know, you're going out there and you're punching each other as hard as you can. So yeah, if I was in the zone, it was probably just getting ready to go out and scrap, because I knew I had to scrap in front of 5,000-6,000 people in Columbus. It definitely takes its toll. It's not, you know, like, it takes its toll on you mentally when you're, you know, everybody thinks it's all shits and giggles, but you're going on fighting what is probably one of your best friends or somebody you really respect and admire or appreciate, and you guys are about to go and basically commit, you know, what do you call that? Like, attempted murder on each other. Like, if we did that to each other in the street, that's attempted murder. 100%. Now we have an audience of 6,000 people, and we're doing it on pieces of steel on our feet, and, you know, we have this audience and, like, all the energy and the you know, the anticipation. So yeah, if I didn't interact with fans in the penalty box, it was probably because I was wrapped up in my own mind.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are trying to take pictures and blast it everywhere and like, oh my gosh, look at the Dragons with all these players in the box and stuff. And
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
guess at that point you just kind of
Yeah, I usually
got your
laser
blinders on.
I usually laser beam out, like I said, especially before a fight. Like even the other night, like I said, I fought Henning. I fought Dustin Henning. And it's not the first time we fought, but it was a bit emotional, and like I think I've talked about it, but like I turned my mind off. Like he's not my best friend. When we're going to war against each other, he's my enemy. After the fight, he's always gonna be my best friend. Like I was so heartbroken the other day. I was literally just talking to him, and I just told him how much I missed him, and I miss all sorts of things. Because like we lived together, and we did every waking hour of my day was spent with Dustin Henning. And I told him how much I missed him, and he was just like, "Yeah, but we still got another 40 years together, man. Like, like this is nothing. We're always gonna be best buds.
Yeah.
So
What you got,
yeah.
Derek?
Nothing much. I mean, I don't really got questions lined up 100% to be honest with you, but I'm just gonna wing it with my lovely banter and my gorgeous face here. Um, what your what makes Watertown different than the other teams you played for?
Um, you know what? Like, believe it, like I love the South. I've spent the majority of my career in the South, so like I love being in the South. I love the Southern hospitality. I came up here. I started my career in Elmira, actually, in the old United League days when we were affiliated with the Columbus Blue Jackets. So I started my career here or in northern New York. So I know this country. I know this country. I'm as familiar with this country as I am of Saskatchewan. So I love it. I don't want to get into politics, but like you get outside the city and people share the kind of the same down home values that I have.
Right.
So like there's that mentality out here. Um, like our ownership has looked after me so well since I came here. Um, as I've been looked after everywhere in my career, but like like Tyler is almost taking it to the next level to make sure that I'm looked after. Um, my girlfriend, she's a school teacher in Montreal, so it's so close to her, which is very convenient for us.
Right, right.
Like she's going on got spring break coming up in this Friday, so I get to spend 17 days straight with her.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty
That always
special. So because like before I was trying to like book her flights down for Christmas and spring break. Now she has a long weekend. She can drive. It's 2.5 hours. It's really nice. And just like I said, being with a storied organization like Watertown. Like I mean, like I said, I know I told you guys that we're struggling through the growing pains of changing management and ownership and stuff. But like to be within an organization that understands and gets hockey in a town. So it's definitely special for me, and like it's such a lack of distractions. I've always played in such big markets, like Columbus, Huntsville, uh, Tulsa, Denver. I was always in these huge markets, and to be able to play in like a small market where I can go to practice, go to the gym, go get a bite to eat. And I'm not saying I don't appreciate the fans, but I'm not being bothered. I could go and have a bite to eat, and like I don't I don't have to take pictures, sign autographs, which guys, don't get me wrong, I love it more than anything. But like it's nice to be a little more anonymous in a community.
good for the morale.
Yeah, it just makes you feel a little like a little more like a human being,
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure that gets pretty overwhelming when you have a bazillion strangers thinking they're your best friends, and I can see that being overwhelming. I've got a couple questions in the chat. I'm going to try to consolidate. One person asked with the recent, I believe it was Matt Rimpey fight. I don't know if you saw it in the NHL. I cannot remember who he fought, but it's like these
Oh,
two
yeah.
heavyweights, and it was like a real old school style
Matt
hockey
Martin, Philly.
throwdown. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Martin. Yeah.
Some haymakers in front
So
of me.
yeah, and so with that happening, there's been a little bit more scraps in the NHL. Do you see that coming back? And then the other question was concussions. I'm sure you've had them with everything that between hockey and bullfighting and all the badass stuff that you do. How do you deal with the long-term side effects?
Um. Well, yeah. As far like to go. So, question number one with the Matt Martin, that kid from New York fight. Fighting hockey's too fast of a game for the refs to be able to police it. So you
Hmm.
need the player to be able to police it. Like when I'm on the ice and the other team doesn't have a heavyweight, I'm like the schoolyard bully. But when the other team has a heavyweight, we keep each other in line. It's not we police the game just by our presence. It is, and if we have to fight, yeah, we're gonna fight. But if the other team dresses a heavy and we don't have a heavy, or vice versa, then that player can just run around and just do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's important just to. It's like it's like you know having guns. You don't want to have a gun until you need to use it.
Yep. Absolutely. Nice to have it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to know that you own a firearm. Um, as far as concussions and stuff go, I've struggled. I've struggled the last few years quite a bit, like just with like memory loss and stuff from my concussions. Like there are times when I'll go say I'll be out for a walk and I'll forget where I am and like get lost and stuff. So it can be frustrating. It's something, but it's like a scar. Would I change anything I've done? Absolutely not. Do I know the long term? Do I know the long term effects? I'm starting to become aware of it. Yeah, it's definitely affected my life. I wake up in pain a lot of times. Um, but yeah, like as far as the brain damage goes, I have started. I mean, I'm almost in my 40s, and I have definitely noticed the side effects of being knocked out as many times I've been knocked out, or as much brain trauma as I've had. I've noticed the side effects of it. But would I change it? Absolutely not. Like I've been the luckiest guy in the whole world to be able to do what I've done as long as I have.
Right.
Ask me that in 5 years, it might change. But like as of right now, yeah, it can be exhausting at times. When like I said, when I have to keep like 8 sets of keys around the house. I lose my wallet all the time. I can't find my phone. Like I said, sometimes I forget where I am, and that is exhausting. But hey, I kind of knew going in that it was going to happen, and I chose this life. You know, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Nailed it.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh boy, I was not prepared. But that's okay. I just got a notification that Mr. Frank Schumacher subscribed to the channel. So shout out to him for watching.
I'm stoked for like after when me and Devo and Pacer and Amesy get to talk to each other. I'm really stoked for that. It's
Yeah.
gonna be so much fun.
Yep, I can't wait to hear it. And when we do that, I'll just like shoot you a message really quick, like, hey, same link, jump back on.
I'm just excited because I fought all three of those guys multiple times, and like I've always kind of like, even though two of them are younger than me, I've always kind of like admired them, like they're, like Pacer and I are the same age, and Amesy and Devo are a bit younger than me, but I've always like kind of like, I've always been like kind of honored when I got to fight them, all three of them, I was like, man, like we're cowboys, we're getting to do cowboy shit,
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually been present for some of your epic throwdowns with Pacer, and I'm telling you, the endurance it takes for you guys. I mean, you guys literally go until there's no energy left. Yeah, I mean, you guys lay it all out there.
Man, I remember one night, it was in Columbus, and it was the middle of a line brawl, and me and Pacer like were standing there. We left the bench in the line brawl, and it just never got sorted out. It just kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier. But it was like just a bunch of little skirmishes. And I was like, Pacer, you want to shut everyone up? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we just like went away, went way away from where the skirmishes were. We took all our stuff off, and we had an absolute bloodbath in a marathon, and they kicked the game. And like, I mean, this fight took every single ounce of energy out of my body. Like, we're bleeding out of our ears. And in Columbus, like, he went to one tunnel, I went to the other. We both got kicked out of the game. And we met like in the hallway, like right after, and we went into the trainer's room, and we were both sucking oxygen at the same time. So we're pumping, both of us were pumping oxygen and like passing it back and forth, and we're bleeding all over each other. And like, I think the training staff couldn't even believe what they just witnessed, let alone that we're both just sitting there after doing that to each other. And we're just both sitting on the table, passing each other an oxygen mask back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
So I just got word we have Ryan coming in, so we're gonna wrap with you really quick, but I'll shoot you a message when we're ready for you to jump back on, and then you guys can have at it.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to it so much. Like I said, it's gonna be such a fun conversation with like I said, with guys I really look up to and admire. So
For sure.
awesome.
Well, buddy, as always, I appreciate you, man. And
I hope I did all right. You guys, I hope I
you
knocked it
did
out.
awesome every time. Like, we
Amazing.
love having you
Every
on.
time.
So yeah, absolutely. You're the best. And we will talk with you soon. Guys, give us
Okay.
just a second. We're gonna do our transition, and yeah, we'll see you back with Ryan Devine in just a second.
Yeah, just let me know and I'll try and figure.
Yep.
Quitters never win, even if you take a few licks on the chin. Just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone.
All right, guys, let's welcome Ryan Devine to the show. Hey, Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
Guys, how are you?
Good. Good. So glad to have you on. So tell us, like, you've had this epic climb. How are things going over with the Mavericks?
Uh, it's a different year. It's playing in the minors, there's always something you can find to complain about, but being here, the rink's across the street. We're in first place. It's sunny. You're starting to look for things to get mad at. All season it's been like this. It's like, oh man, like when's it gonna start getting bad? And it almost did. We lost two in a row. That was the biggest, slap in the face all year, waking up to that second loss in a row. But other than that, um, we're still in first place. It's sunny. Live right across the rink. You know, ECHL pay, ECHL living. It's still it took a while to get here, but it's been worth it. That's for sure.
So what I'm hearing is you 100% miss the Fed.
I can't say I can't put a number on what it would take me to go back there because I don't want to put that out there. But yeah, safe to say I will not be visiting a Fed League game anytime soon. No, sorry.
Not even
Don't be
as a
sorry.
fan.
Sorry, what was that, Sam?
Not even as a fan.
As a fan, you can watch from afar. I'm talking about you will not see me at a Fed game as a fan, a player. Hopefully ever. I don't know. That's might be rude to say, but
Hey, dude, no, we
I've,
appreciate the honesty.
yeah, I've battled you know, backing up the Fed for so many years, but going from there just 2 years ago to the ECHL, it's not even night and day. It's light years away, but
Yeah.
it's humbled me, that's for sure. Being here, that was the hardest thing. Just kind of biting your tongue and just everyone else knowing more and being better, and it's the way it is.
Mhm.
So how are the fights up there? I mean, I've seen some of your videos, but if we've got some new fans tuning in, feel free to drop your questions in our chat. But are the tilts harder? Are the hits harder?
I'm sure Amesbury can answer that one for you. The guys are tougher, stronger, better at fighting. Everyone here can fight both hands. If they can't, you see it right away. But usually, everyone that's in a fight for longer than 5 seconds can throw a lefty and righty. They both work out on a daily basis. They're serious right around. Everyone I fought, other than maybe one guy, wasn't very tough. But well, I've only fought 3 guys, I think. And the one guy, yeah. Well, Boucher, he's been my only fight. He was upset too when Amesbury wasn't in the lineup. But yeah, not fighting guys that are out there. I wouldn't say beer league because you know you can find a beer leaguer that all he does is throw weight around, but a kid coming out of junior hockey playing beer league, you're fighting full grown men now. So it's just each level you go up, they're bigger, faster, stronger. AHL, they're big. And then you got that new kid Rempe who made it to the AHL because of how big and strong he is. And he's fighting. He's throwing him up with the biggest and baddest of the league. That's just the way it is. Like you watch these NHL fights, and it's just nothing but respect because this kid's putting in his work. He's had what was it? He had 9 minutes in shifts and over 30 minutes in penalty minutes and only like what five actual shifts, something like that.
Yeah. He made a name for himself very quick.
Yeah, that guy. Hopefully, he can start to play hockey soon because he's putting beatings on guys, but the beatings he's taken at the same time, he's not going to last long. He's full-grown men. Olivier, Delorier, I forgot who else he fought, but big, strong dudes, all bigger and stronger than most in the coast. Yeah, but just the way it is.
You got anything, Sean?
Yeah, so if I remember right, you are a Philly fan, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Spring training's here. You pretty excited about that?
Yeah. I saw Phillies are down in Florida. I've seen 2 friends down there. Last season didn't end well, but you know, as a Philly fan, it's just another year.
I hear you.
False hope.
So being in KC, I know the Chiefs just won the Super Bowl. Did you get to see, Jason Kelsey wearing his outfit, chugging some beers, hang out with them at all? Or
See, I was at the parade when Philly won, and I was living in New York City at the time, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to take off work. If they win, I'll go to the parade. And I'm kicking myself because I was in KC for the game, and at that party, it's called Power and Light District downtown, and I can send you a video of that. I'll show you. It's one of the best, the best experience I've had watching the Super Bowl. Just in the middle of people that, don't give a hell about anything. That just there's a fucking like 300-foot TV right in front of us, watching the best grown men going at it and at their craft. And it was a great game. First half kind of sucked, but being in that little, it's called the P&L, outside that bar with thousands of people, just elbow to elbow watching that game, it was pretty electric. But I wish I was in Philly when they won the Super Bowl. But I went to the parade instead. It was freezing. I mean, it was a nice day here, but did miss a shooting. But
Yeah, that's scary.
yeah, it was scary. But watching other grown men chug a beer on a bus is just first a trophy that they get to keep. It's not that special. Congratulations to everything that they accomplished, but I don't know. The Lombardi just isn't that special to me. I saw it once when the Eagles won it. I got to see Jason Kelsey's amazing speech in the what's it called?
I don't even know what it's called, but it was pretty.
What was he wearing? The Mummers Parade outfit. You guys know what the Mummers Parade is? No.
Not
I
a
was going to
chance.
say, I'm not there, to be
Oh my
honest.
goodness.
I'm so sorry.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. If you're not from Philly, I guess you would have no idea what that is. I can't even tell you when it started. I've never seen it in person, but if you just Google on YouTube, put in Mummers Parade and just watch the crazy outfits they wear.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, you got to look up Mummers Parade, and I guarantee Jason Kelsey's face will come up wearing a Mummers Parade outfit.
100%.
I know. I have family that's like in the drumline in the Mummers Parade. I don't know. Never seen it live in person, but yeah, you guys are all looking at me like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, it's colorful.
Yeah,
It's colorful.
Sure. We'll go with it's colorful for the Italians of Philly. I don't know. This looks really bad for someone who's from Philly, but yeah. Next question.
Jordan
Next
Mailata
question,
actually
please.
has a very cool outfit. So
Yeah, does he? You looking at that now?
yeah, he's basically wearing a makeshift sequin Kelsey jersey with like eagle wings. It's pretty intense.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that. So how's this all work? You're just talking to us one at a time?
Yeah, so for right now, we're going to do one at a time. We're going to bring on, let's see, Pacer and then Amesy. And then right at the end, we're going to just send you guys all like a text. You can all jump back on. And then all the hosts, we're just going to take a step back. And we're going to let you guys kind of reminisce on beating the shit out of each other and like, good memories in the Fed. So if you're up for that, let me know. And I'll definitely shoot you a text.
Yeah, for sure. It's a shame I've only fought Schmitty. Never got to fight Pacer. Was his teammate all year, and then never saw him again.
Perfect time to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, right. This was back when Pacer could still play. I don't know about now. I haven't seen him in years.
Oh, shots fired, Pacer.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been 8 years since I've seen Pacer really on the ice. So, and things were getting questionable then. He would come into the zone on a dump in. If it was on his backhand, he would just switch to righty and just take a slapper and just hit it the other way around. And take it on his backhand, both his forehand. He'd be like, "What? I saw Chelios do it." So we're like, "Bro, it's the semifinals. What are you doing?"
Adding a little finesse.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when he did it, but I just remember it went into his corner instead of taking it on his backhand, going around the net, or just stopping and turning. He just decided to switch from lefty to righty and hit it with his backhand like a slap shot. First and last time I've ever seen that. 2016. Joe Pace. Now he's lighting sticks on fire, starting games with penalty shots. That was a few years ago, right?
I didn't see the stick lit on fire. I'm gonna have to go find that.
Yeah, that was it was like a promo, but like he came out with this stick, he lit it on fire. He's in Port Huron, I think, second year, something like that.
Oh wow.
Huh. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
These are the questions we're getting.
This
Um,
is actually one of
Hard-hitting
our
questions that
guests.
fans
This
want
is
to
a
know.
guest
okay, this
favorite
is
question,
one
actually.
okay. This is an actual live question. Sure. Never have been, but we actually got it after we had pineapple. I think chicken bacon pineapple on a pizza after one of our games because we had a game the next day, so they'll give us food then. And the pizza was good, and I didn't mind the pineapple. I think I've had it before where it just wasn't evenly balanced. If it's good pineapple pizza, yeah, I'll have it. But
Sounds like a good combo there. Chicken.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I
I
tried
don't
that.
mind it. I don't mind it. I was crushing it that night, but thinking about it, that's an occasional thing for me.
Right.
So sure, if you want pineapple on pizza, I won't say you're crazy anymore, just because I've had it and wasn't bad. I think if the pineapple's like too juicy, because mine was like kind of dried out on the outside, and then like you got a little bit of pineapple juice, it was all right. But I think if it was warm, like juicy pineapple, it'd be a little weird.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Way
Eric
too
is a food
chill.
connoisseur, so he's got
I'm
the.
buzzing.
I'm
Yeah,
big on
sorry,
fruit.
I'm buzzing on pre-workout right now. Fresh out of a nap, right to pre-workout, asking if I could do pineapple on pizza.
Well, so since currently no plans to return to the Fed, can you drop any juicy details or maybe a little scandal that we don't all know about?
A scandal?
I don't know. I'm just, you got any little bits of tea that you could throw our way that we haven't heard about?
T where? What league?
The Fed.
What kind of tea we talking here, Anna?
I don't know. I just
Uh,
I
yeah,
know
I
there's
got some
social
tea for
media
you.
contracts. Let's hear
I
it.
got some tea for you. What was that icon?
We were thinking whatever was comfortable for the internet. And I know you have social media contracts,
Yeah.
so you know.
Okay. Here's some tea that that probably no one knows yet. Um, it's about a player going to the Fed.
Coming from above.
Yep. You heard it here
Oh,
first.
heard it here
Is it you?
first.
Justin Portillo to Mississippi Seawolves.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Look at that.
Okay.
That's some tea.
Okay.
Drop
some
That's some
bomb.
tea. There
Yep.
you go. All right. You guys heard it here first. You heard it right out of Ryan's mouth.
He'll be heading down probably to, I don't know. I talked to him yesterday and he's like, yeah, man, I'm going to Mississippi. I can't really talk too much about what else was said, but he's happy. He loves the guys down there. He's got several friends. He loves Pacer like a brother. So
Cool.
hopefully Pace doesn't get mad at me for putting that out there before him. But yeah, I just talked to Portillo yesterday, and he's heading down to Mississippi. I guess things didn't end well with Knoxville. They wanted him back. That's what they said, and then he reached out to him and didn't get a message back. So he's going to where he's wanted, and that's Mississippi. I'm sure. If as soon as he goes to Mississippi and everyone's like, "Wait, he's allowed to play again," once his name pops up on transactions, I'm sure he'll go either. I think he could even skip the SP. Someone will be like, "Hey, like Toledo, he's a Toledo boy. That's his hometown. Toledo,
Yeah.
Fort Wayne. Justin Portillo, Daniel Amesbury. Come on, make it happen."
That's a dynamic duo.
I know who I'm choosing in that, but I would love to see that. I would love to see Toledo because they're in first place in their division, or they're right there with us, almost the same record.
Yeah.
But Toledo, that's Justin Portillo's hometown, where he's born and raised. So if someone knows anyone in Toledo, and if they want to go at Fort Wayne for their signing and bring in Portillo. We were joking about it yesterday on the phone, him and I. So we would we're putting that juju in. Crazy. Any more
So
questions? Any more pizza questions? No.
let's see what we got in the comments.
Where can you watch this since it's video?
If you pull up like YouTube, you can pull up just it's like watching it live, and then the comment. It's just like when you watch like one of the Fed games live, there's like the whole comment thread.
So this is live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm so sorry. I really thought that
Anna, you're really
that.
surprising these guests tonight. What's
You know,
going on?
it's crazy because I'm normally on top of that.
Hopefully. Jeez, that'd be so funny if Justin Portillo just texts me right now. Dude, guess who called? I'm
So
going to
sorry
Toledo.
about that.
I'm going to Toledo.
Dude, I'm not going to Mississippi. What are you doing?
Oh man, I'm so
I'm
sorry.
just gonna ask you to be
I
his
feel
manager now.
Wow.
You put it in the air. You help me out.
Cool. None of this will be edited.
sorry about that.
Not at this point.
I thought that we'd mentioned the live format. So
I mean, it did say it on the thing. Now I'm thinking back to it, but yeah, cool. Good thing I didn't give you a different tea.
yeah.
Oh, you're still definitely holding on to some.
100%. Can't say it.
Oh,
Okay, so I just got word that Pacer's in the room. So we'll wrap up here really quick. But if you want, I can shoot you a text when we got all the boys back. If you want to jump back on, just let me know.
Yeah, there were no questions about how Amesbury wasn't in the lineup, and like I never even saw him.
Yeah,
Crazy.
actually, I don't see any comments about that, but I
I
can
thought
definitely
everything would have
ask
been
it.
about yeah. I thought yeah. 'Cause I wanted to know what happened. It was all over the internet for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was super hyped
I
up.
want to know like what happened on Fort Wayne side, like why they didn't. I was
And
ready to, because all year it was like, all right, you only got 10 fights, and then he signs, and I had 5, and I was like, crap. Now I'm gonna probably go 3 times with Amesbury. I'm only gonna have 2 left. There's like anxiety for like 10 days about like, all right, yeah, how many times are we gonna go? And it didn't happen for so long. Like the coaches even brought me into the office and like, hey, so like, what's your plan? What are you talking about? What's my plan? Like, you want to know what I'm gonna do strategy wise? Like, so weird. And then just even trying to nap before the game, because like fighting is like knowing that it's going to happen. Pre-game nap just non-existent that day. Just
Man.
you can't help but think about it. And then as soon as he wasn't in the lineup, came into the locker room and saw he wasn't in the lineup. I was like, what? And then immediately I was just like, ugh, I want to take a nap. But yeah, I would just love to hear like what they told him, why he wasn't.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned in because we've got Pacer coming on for about like 20 minutes or so. Then we'll have Amesy. So I'll make sure that I ask him. And then if you want to come back on, we let you boys have the room. And
that's cool.
Okay. And sorry again about the whole live thing. So
no, you're good.
I need to specify that a little more next time.
I just I was really off guard about what kind of tea you're asking for, because we know there's plenty.
There's other tea. Yeah, there's other tea.
Plenty.
Gallons.
All right, buddy. We'll see you shortly.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay. Bye.
Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone.
All right, guys. Thank you for waiting for our transition. I just want to shout out Nerdly Productions. He's the magic behind everything, and without him, that this wouldn't be possible. And I want to say we actually had a message. Somebody didn't think that we could pull it off, and here we are doing it. So we got Joe Pace joining us now. How are you doing tonight, Joe?
Oh, awesome. If I'm on a podcast, I'm doing good.
Good. Yep. Yep. So, how's things going in Mississippi? I know playoffs are coming up, and there's been a couple changes on the roster. So, what are we looking at the rest of the season?
Oh, I'm just gonna keep drinking this Celsius out of this fancy glass here tonight. But
I like it.
so this year was a big year for me. Easiest way to sum it up is at some point during this year, I realized that I was just living a life I really didn't like, and I've been training with some guys down here that are top-notch athletes, and I decided, I was like, man, I want to be more like them. And the talk in the gym was always be a real man. What does a real man do? And took a step back and looked at it, and I realized that, for the last 21 years after high school ended, I haven't really evolved. I've been living like Peter Pan, and that's the best way to say it. So Peter Pan this year flew home from Neverland and decided to grow up. And I just the other day went back into the room with the guys and talked to them, and I said, this journey of becoming a man, I've made some big strides, and I do look forward to being back in this room one day again and being the leader that I always thought I really was. I thought guys were looking up to me, and I think they just looked up to me because I was old. I just wasn't doing the right stuff. I was just still the joker in the room. And but yeah, the team, since stepping away, the team stepped up. They've been so mature. They've been amazing. And our new coach, Dustin Skinner, has just been awesome. He is fully committed, and it's been really fun. It's been a fun transition, and it's fun to watch someone else now run a practice. I stood on the bench today and watched Skins yell at them, and Dustin was yelling at him about drills, and I was like, this is awesome. I'm like just talking to him, what are you going to do next? And I didn't have to worry about messing the drill up.
I love it. What you
Yeah,
got
so I
for
actually
us,
have
Sean?
a two-part question for you, Pacer.
Hey.
Number one, the Bone Crusher jerseys, those look pretty sick. Where did they come from? I know you're a wrestling guy, so tell us a story about the Bone Crushers.
So a lot of SP teams do the rebrand night where they use a name that they didn't get to use through the naming process of their team. But it's just going to be a fun night where the Mississippi Seawolves. So people were nervous. They're like, the team's leaving. They're switching names. It's like, no, it's just one game. But we were just trying to partner with all our give our partners an opportunity to really showcase something. So Benville Orthopedics is our main medical provider, and we came up with the idea for a rebrand night, and the Biloxi Bone Crushers was always a cool name we thought of. And actually our media guy Zach based the image off one of his dogs. So Zach breeds American Bullies, I think, and so the logo is based off our media guy Zach's dog at home. So it's pretty cool. It's special, and Friday night's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, I love the logo. That was super
Me
cool.
too.
Had some Shoresy vibes also. As he drinks out of the fancy glass, I love it.
Hey, let's have fun. If we're doing this, let's have fun.
That's
I
right.
like it.
My second question here. We know you're not officially done playing. For those of us that have been following the Fed for a long time, you're not just going to be done. You're not going to retire. You're going to go out in style, because that's the way you are. So I want to know when it's time to officially hang up the skates. How
Close.
will you go out? Similar to like Puntareri. You're going to have like a Puntareri story.
Oh gosh. I always thought of it more like The Undertaker leaving WrestleMania. Fold your stuff up, leave it in the middle of the ice, and take off. And but yeah, punts, I'll pull a beer out of my pants.
You
No,
know,
when he did that, I was in the game. That was the first game I got traded from Danville. That was my first game with the Demons. And I thought Punts was gonna fight. I was like, oh man, I just got traded. Punts is stepping up. He's gonna be a leader in the room. And I was like, this is huge for the Dashers. And then he hugged Corey Felton, and then he pulled the beer out, and I was like, "What's going on?" And they started drinking and skating around, and people were yelling at him. Some people were cheering. It was a crazy night, but the next day he got his lifetime ban, and Punts moved on, and he's done some good things since. But hopefully we get characters like that back in the league because he was a lot of fun, and the way he went out was going out in style, baby. That guy went out in style that night. But he does. I remember the article. He did have one regret. He wished it was a Budweiser and not a Coors Light.
Right. He was actually the very first guest on the Bench Miner podcast. So that was a fun episode. If you guys haven't checked that out, go rewatch that. But at the same time, he was banned from the FHL, not the FPHL.
Oh, you're
I mean,
right.
could that be a loophole? We're all about
All right.
loopholes this year.
That could definitely be one. I think he just probably has to start with some apologies and reaching out to Barry and Don.
If you're listening, Punts, you heard him.
That guy is the king of Wampah, Pennsylvania. So, he's on the map there. If a team ever goes to Western Pennsylvania, you're going to see Punts.
hey, Western Pennsylvania would be a good market, I think.
We were there once with Steel City. It didn't work.
That's old school.
Well, that was what at first was the Southwest PA Magic. They only lasted one day.
Damn, that's got to be some kind of record, right?
You didn't know that? Yeah, after the first day of training camp, the coach was like, "Well, guys, thanks for coming. I guess it's over. So see you later."
It lasted longer than
Wow.
Trav in Port Huron.
Well, oh,
Burn.
jeez, guys.
He was
Well, I
on the
guess-
podcast last week. We were just joking about it. He's a chick.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good with Trav, I promise.
And he knows what it's about. Slinging on the podcast is fun, and that's what I mean. Like, taking the step back, it just so happened that the week before I did, Zach made a new logo, and we were kind of rebranding our podcast to the Puckin' Around podcast. And it's like, well, it would make no sense if I wasn't the coach and I was running a coach's show. So now that I'm on I run the Puckin' Around podcast, it makes total sense why I'm still doing it.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't checked out Puckin' Around, you definitely check it out. The few episodes that I've seen, they've been great, and I definitely have a question about one of the episodes. But what do you got for us, Sam?
It's crazy. I keep thinking I'm looking in the mirror with how much Joe and I look alike.
Oh
We're
yeah, the
twins.
twins. We
We're
got
See
the
the
twins.
similarities.
Little twinsies. I let it grow out a little bit. So you've taken a step back and stuff, and I definitely have seen you a lot more on social media, definitely with the Seawolves and stuff. Has marketing kind of been a passion you've kind of fallen into
Yeah.
with the role
Yeah.
for a team?
Yeah, I definitely fell into it by accident. When I got to Danville, 2011, knew nothing about promoting or anything. I knew what it was like to be a player, run practice, be in the locker room, go to appearances, and then slowly you start realizing how important butts in the seats are. And actually, a lot of the stuff that rang in my head was stuff that John Brophy would say to me when I played for him in Richmond, Virginia, in the SPHL. For the Richmond Renegades. And he that year would talk, if we didn't have a good performance at home, he always talked about how people were spending their paychecks, their hard-earned money to come watch you work. And at the time, I was 21 years old or 22. I didn't comprehend to me. It wasn't clicking. I was like, yeah, they're coming to hockey games. That's what people do. And then getting into it and trying to get butts in the seats, I was like, oh my gosh, that's why he was on us to always put on a show. Like, you got to be an entertainer. Like, yeah, you're an athlete. Yeah, you're a hockey player, but you're here to entertain thousands of people that are coming out to be entertained. They want to come out. No one wants to come to a hockey game and be bored all night. So,
Mhm.
you know, you don't even go to a play to be bored. You want to be entertained there too.
Absolutely. You know, and I was just thinking when you mentioned about the guy pulling the beer out, wasn't there an exhibition game in Baton Rouge at one point where beer was thrown on the ice? Did that happen? Was it you that picked it? No, no, not you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I know.
I
Fucking
just,
around.
yeah, I just stone cold those beers together. I was like, and it was actually a really cool night. They were throwing beers on the ice, but I realized they weren't empty beers. Like they were full, and
Yeah.
some were like half drinking, some were like brand new, and they weren't even throwing them on the ice to like hit us. They were just like throwing stuff on the ice to just, they're so rowdy, and like you got to pick it up to clean it up. I'm not going to make the linesmen and refs do that, so I'm there helping out. I pick it up, I'm like, full, half full, twist the top,
Let's
twist the top,
go.
bang bang, and
Yeah.
I just, yep. And you know, I'm a wrestling fan, and you know, everyone's a Stone Cold fan, and
100%.
that was awesome. There's actually a video or a picture of us coming off the ice after the third game in Baton Rouge. I think it was the sellout, and that was the same kind of setup there was here in Biloxi. 3 games, each one built to the third one, which was a sold out crowd. And when we were walking off the ice there, they were pouring beer out of the like upper mezzanine, and me and Blake Wayrick were like walking and just like, and they were just pouring it right down into our mouth. It was, and they have a video and picture of it. And you know, Blake, our goalie, he's just phenomenal, and you know, another great guy. But you know, he right there, I was like, you get it, buddy, you get it. But then Paul Jean, our you know, head referee and scheduler, he was like, never again. So maybe one day.
Like
Yeah,
that
you
was
know,
after the game.
we got to give a shout out to Blake again. He was on the show recently, and man, he's very enlightening, well spoken. Like I learned a lot from him. So, that yeah, shout out to Blake. But I want to ask you a question. I know we talked about it a little before, but on your Pucking Around podcast, there was an episode, and towards the end, you gave us a little bit about a bus getting stuck, and Blake kind of talked about it a little bit too, but I want to hear it from your point of view. What happened with the bus and the drive-through?
So there's many bus getting stuck stories. There's actually probably better ones than this one. But
Tell us the best one.
Okay. I'll start with this one, then go to the best one.
Okay.
There's probably like 5. But this one, we went to a McDonald's. We went to a McDonald's, and like, you know, obviously everything after a game is closed. So you get out of a game, you're in these small towns, and you want something else other than like pizza or whatever was at the rink, because there's like just enough food at the rink for you to like get a snack or get something in you. You're usually not leaving there like full and like ready for a 12-hour ride home. So you usually hit a gas station or a restaurant. Well, I forgot where we were leaving, and it might have been Binghamton, but ended up in a McDonald's drive-through, and all of a sudden the bus driver was like, instead of doing the whole lap and leaving, he tried to like cut into a side lot and got stuck in between the trash can and a light pole. And like, if he backed up, he would have hit the light pole. If he backed up, he would have hit the trash can. We were stuck there for like 20 minutes, like kept moving the wheel back and forth, and everyone's like, no. And that was the first time Blake saw something like that. But few years ago, oh gosh, it was probably the end of the 2000, what was it? Probably the end of the 18-19 season in Port Huron. We got eliminated by Carolina, and we went out, and then Michael Bunn, who everyone around the Fed remembers Michael Bunn, he called me and was like, Pacer, you got to come to my house. And I was like, well, I got the whole team with me. He's like, come on over. And I was like, took the bus. I'm like, we're going to Michael Bunn's house. So we get all the way out to the country, way out in the middle of nowhere outside Winston-Salem. And we pull up to the house, and it's like so dark, and the guys are like, this can't be his house. Like, there's no party here. Like, you know, and there really wasn't. There was only like 5 guys in the house, and they're like, this can't be it. Don't get shot, Pacer. We're in North Carolina. So we're like, go up a little bit. It's got to be a different house. And as we went up, we were like, oh, the addresses kept going up, up, up. And we're like, that was the house. So went to do a U-turn and turn around, and it was right by an intersection. We like went forward and we backed up, and the back wheels, the drive axle went just off the road just a little bit, and the tag axle was on the road, but the wheels were spinning, hanging off over the road, and we just had to put it in park. And we were like, and a guy with an F-250 came around the corner and had to grab on and tow us out. But in the meantime, every state trooper and every cop in the whole area showed up there to be like, what is going on? But guys were doing all they could to try to push the bus and do everything, and that didn't work. But we had 2 more. One, that same year, we were going up to a lookout spot in Chattanooga, Tennessee, to give our bus driver a chance to sleep. You know, they can't drive longer than 10 hours. So got to Chattanooga. We're on our way to Columbus, pulled off to try to let him sleep. He went up like this crazy switchback highway up the side of a mountain, and he didn't take the turn wide enough. And he's just like, you know, made this tight turn, and the bus just literally tipped on its side and fell right in the ditch. And mountain for like 4 hours. People were so mad at us. They're like, did you not see the signs? I was like, I was sleeping. That's the bus driver. But
Right.
my first ever road trip in the Fed, Danville Dashers, Scott Beneke was the coach. It was the game right after we signed Amesbury. He played with us in Vermont. Those were the first games we had Daniel Amesbury, and leaving there to head back to Danville, we got stuck on a side of the mountain. Same thing. We're driving and got stuck. The trees were hitting the bus, and I'm like, whoa, 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 stop. I get up. I'm like, where are we? They're like, I don't know. The GPS told us to go this way. We start walking up. We're walking with flashlights. We're like looking, and all of a sudden the like road ends. The road just like ended, and it just went to a cliff. And I'm like, where are we? We look up, there's a chairlift right above us. We drove up the whole side of the mountain. If we went any further, we were just gonna go right down like a double black diamond and just drive the bus right down the ski hill. That was the wildest getting the bus stuck story ever. We couldn't get it out of there. Like, yep, on the side of a mountain. So that bus driver quit like right after the trip. Like, he didn't even make it home. I think we stopped at his house, and he just got out. And Amesbury told the story where the guy just like got out, and he's like, bye, I quit.
Bye, I'm done.
Like, where are we? He's like, my house. See you later. I'm like, but I owe you money. He's like, don't care. I quit.
Damn.
And that's how we all learned. That's how we learned how to drive the bus. The bus driver left us, and everyone had to step up and help.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's when you know you're done if you're not willing to pick up your final paycheck. Like, I'm just done. I'm washing my hands.
To take your employer to like your house, like, you know where I live now, but I quit. That's
Yeah,
ballsy.
yeah, he lived in like Johnstown, PA, and he was just like, I'm out of here. And so we had to make it from Johnstown home. So Chris Affinati, like literally not the biggest guy in the world, but toughest guy I've ever played with. Affy jumped behind the wheel. I jumped behind the wheel. Ames was behind the wheel at some point. It was just, it was very interesting.
Oh, you guys are champs, because I'm telling you, I probably would have taken out like 5 trees and a person on accident, probably. I don't think I could have just jumped in and done that. That's pretty cool.
Anna would have taken a ride down the mountain. So
100%. I'd have been like, oh shit, hold on. We're committed now.
Oh man.
Alpine skiing with the bus.
Yeah, definitely crazy stuff. The buses are insane. I've been saying, you know, with the long trips last year, we flew 3 or 4 times. We just booked the guys' tickets, and I drove my truck with a trailer, drove the gear there like an equipment manager, let them fly, and you know, that was almost easier. But yeah, the buses, it's so hard to find mechanics that work on buses. You bring it to a diesel shop, and they're like, not a bus. They're like, you got a bus? Not here. They're like, I don't want to touch that thing. And that's the hardest thing, is just finding good mechanics to work on these things.
Definitely.
Easy to buy a bus, hard to fix a bus.
Right. Yeah, I can't even imagine trying to track down parts for a bus.
This
Uh,
one's broken. Just buy a new one.
oh, we've done that before. We've literally done that.
Yeah, it's funny. I think anytime the fans in the Fed find out about a bus breaking down, like, the bus gets roasted. And I do think Carolina probably hold. Definitely have the best bus stuck story, but Carolina, I think, has the best we stole our own bus from the mechanic story from a couple of seasons ago.
I actually, we've never told this story, but when my dad was coaching Port Huron, that same thing happened. We used to park it at the mechanics and it was fenced in, and we had like a little thing to get in the gate. Well, our bus driver had that little thing, and we needed to get the bus, and he was MIA or sick or something, or on a different trip with a different company. And we had to, my dad like literally hoisted me up downtown Detroit, and I'm like hanging on a tree, hanging on the barbed wire, and he's trying to like throw me over the fence, and I'm literally caught on the razor wire, and
Oh
I'm
gosh.
screaming like a little kid. I'm like, Dad, no. And it's just like, he's just like, whoop, just like up and over. And he's like, you okay? I'm like, I'm all cut up. My legs are bleeding. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And he's like, okay, could you start it? I'm like, yeah, I'll drive it out. And yeah, that trip I had like all cuts down my shins. It was horrible.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, the
I don't know.
people, it was a bad neighborhood, and they didn't even question it. The people were looking at us. They're like watching us go over the fence, and they're like, not even going to get involved with this.
Yeah, they're like, you need any help?
Yeah, they're like, you guys are nuts. They're like, we live right here, and we would never do that.
Hey,
So,
don't you see the hole in the fence over here?
Yeah, there was like, yeah, like the fence literally had a hole 2 feet over, and just didn't even look.
So we have Daniel Amesbury also about to join. So we're going to wrap really quick, but I did work it out. I think all the guys are going to come back. So if you're available in about like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I can shoot you a text because all the boys want to kind of hang out and
Let's
reminisce.
let's do this. I got a surprise for those guys right here next to me.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
as soon as I wrap with him, I'll shoot you a text. I'll get you guys all back on. We'll go away. We'll give you the floor and let you guys have a good time.
Hey, guys, thank you so much. This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you in a little bit.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone.
All right, guys, we're back. Welcome Daniel Amesbury to the show. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. You're definitely one of our favorite guests. We're so glad to have you back on. Can you tell us how things are going over with the Comets?
Yeah, they're going really good. I think we have a really talented team, and I think we have a pretty good chance here. We just kind of putting everything together. We had a good weekend last weekend. We're hopefully having another good weekend this weekend. But Fort Wayne's been a great city. I feel very comfortable here. I like the fans. I like the demographic of just like the type of people here. Very blue collar, working class, and I think I like fit that mold myself. So it's cool. Really like the town. The organization's second to none. So it's been a really good experience here.
Good. I'm really, really glad to hear that. I know things in the Fed didn't really end super well, and it was, kind of came out of nowhere. So I'm super glad to, see that you landed on your feet. So what you got for us,
Yeah.
Sean?
Yeah, so I'm just kind of curious, when you played in the Fed, I know the league is trying to go more toward a prospects league. Do you think that playing in this league kind of helped you hone in on your skills to perform best at the ECHL?
I mean, at the end of the day, I was coming out of retirement. I hadn't played for 9 years, so I needed it. It was nice to have a stepping stone. Like, throughout the course of my whole, even maybe not as much near the end of my retirement, but in the beginning, I was getting calls every year from coast teams, and opportunities would come up, and it just couldn't happen. So when I finally got full circle, came out of retirement, it was nice to start in the Fed and get my feet under me and stuff like that, and obviously, build everything I did with AJ while in Danbury. And now it's kind of perfect timing, perfect storm for me to step up and kind of move on and move up. So it was great. It was great to have that stepping stone.
Right. And I'm going to ask you the same question I just asked Pacer. When it's time to officially retire again, how are you going out? You got a plan?
No, not really. I just intend to having a better. I hope it's my decision this time. I hope it's a decision I get to make and I get to decide. I know it doesn't happen to everybody, but that's all if I could ask for one thing in that situation, I would love to end it on my own terms. Because I've been through it on the other end where it's not on your terms and it's really difficult. And I've been through the whole, don't have the game anymore, poor me, like really, not even poor me, but like just I've battled depression through not having the game. And I've been through all that, and now I'm here. I am second kick at the can. I hope I get to end on my terms, but anyway it ends, I'm going to give it the best kick of the can as I can, and do it 110% while I'm here. So,
God, you and that signature handlebar mustache, like that is definitely one of the greatest things about you.
yeah, it's kind of the brand now. I don't think I can get rid of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you can just cover everything else up and just have like the shadow handlebars, and everybody's gonna be like, "That's Amesbury."
Yeah. I feel like people recognize me now just because the handlebars and the mullet kind of stand out. So.
Oh, you went full mullet now?
Oh yeah, I've had a mullet for quite some time, but it's getting long now. So. Yeah.
Oh man. Do you regret actually spending any of your time in the Fed the way you did? And
I mean, I feel like nobody was great. Like the league maybe wasn't as grateful that I felt like I was contributing to helping them. Like that's the kind of thing where there's a part of my ego that wants to say, yeah, I wish I never played in that league because I never got treated fairly, but not really. Like everything happens, I think, for a reason. And like I said, all that BS I dealt with in the Fed happened for me. It ended up working out perfectly in my favor. I had a lot of ECHL opportunities last year, and the beginning of this year, I had teams calling me, but I was just so comfortable in Danbury. I was so comfortable. I was doing well. I had it was a good setup for me. I was close to AJ. I had a lot going on. I was to be able to support my family, from the game of hockey, which is crazy, especially in the Fed. That doesn't really happen. So it was great. It was amazing, and I was a little too comfortable. So I think everything that happened, even though I'm pissed at how it went down, and I think some of the guys, there's a little bit of animosity for me and some of those people that didn't treat me fairly, of course. But at the end of the day, it all happened the way it was supposed to, and I'm grateful for it because of where I am now and where my family is now. It's awesome. Couldn't ask for a better situation.
So I want to mention, if we have any new viewers, if you guys have not seen our other episodes with Daniel Amesbury, you are one of the most down to earth dudes, and I think all the people that haven't had a chance to meet you in person, that don't get to see that side of you, I encourage you guys, go check him out. I like that you always say the things happen for a reason, and just kind of, even though shit gets hard, you always seem to come out on like the positive side of it. But I saw the other day, so are you part of a video game now? Is it the EA, like since you're up in the ECHL?
Yeah, everyone that's in the ECHL is like automatically in NHL, like the newest one or whatever. They'll be in the roster updates. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. Getting lots of my friends are sharing they're playing with me and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Like I knew it would happen. So like that was one of the things I was kind of excited about. As silly as it seems, it's like a childhood dream for everybody to be in a video game one day. So
oh my God, absolutely.
cool.
That's not childish.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I think it's super rad, and I haven't played yet, but I'd love to. It'd be kind of fun, and I know my buddies are enjoying it back home. So
For sure.
You got to play career mode as Daniel Amesbury.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
100% playing myself.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I can get some of those attributes up a little bit, but we'll see.
So we recently had Ryan on, and I think we talked about all the boys kind of jumping on at the end and hanging out together. I know that they really amped up the Divine and Amesy fight and this and that, and
Yeah,
we know that you were a scratch that day. And
yeah,
so, any idea what happened, or is that just the way the
yeah.
coach
I
wanted
mean,
it?
at the end of the game, at the end of the day, like everybody knows the game and how it's, it's the team first, obviously. And
Hmm.
my team is like the most heavily contracted team in the league. So we have, I don't even know, like 11 guys on A deals, and we got like 3 guys on NHL deals. So we got like a large amount of guys that, like, at the end of the day, it's not really the coaches say who, if they're in the lineup or not. So he's only got so many spots to move guys in and out. KC is a top team. We're trying to win a big game. Coach did his research and didn't think that, Divine was going to be too much of an issue if I wasn't in the lineup, and that's the decision that he made. I respect it, because I was pissed. Obviously, I think like there's a lot of people who were let down, and I felt like it was an opportunity for me, and I was like, okay, this is great, this is perfect right away. I thought that was a part of the reason they wanted to bring me in and stuff, but after watching the game and how it went, and really seeing how my coach coaches, and seeing how much he cares about the game and the team and winning, and how much homework he does, I actually respected the decision at the end of the day, the way it went down. I'm like, he has all these guys. We had a bunch of guys down from the A at the time. There's only so many spots. It was between like me and my captain, I think, in the lineup, So at the end of the day, it gets tight, and I understand it, and I respect the decision he made, and I don't think it was the wrong decision. It would have been nice to get down. I'm sure Divine would have been down too, but at the end of the day, that's hockey. They got to think team first. So I
Yeah,
kind
and
of get it,
I get it too. I agree with that. Entertaining the fans is important, but like at the end of the day, you're there to win a game. So,
Yeah,
you gotta do what you gotta do for your team. And, so I'm sure the fans are happy though to kind of know like what happened there. So thank you for that.
yeah, yeah. And like I said, it was, at first I was like so confused, because I was like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it, I guess, because I was like, I thought that was why I was here. But after watching the game, I was like, okay, you know what? Like, he gave us a pretty good chance to win. I get it. At the end of the day, it happened the same road trip again, and it was the same exact thing. It was, as you think, I went warmed up, thought I was playing, and I thought I was lining up a fight. We're talking like, yeah, we'll get the boys going here or whatever, and then get in the roster, and it's a letdown, but that's a part of the game. It's pro hockey. It's not boxing. So it's, at the end of the day, the game is first, and what we can do to contribute is, if we're in the lineup or we're not in the lineup, that's obviously plays a factor.
For sure.
I just seen a comment in the chat that says, "Glad they got the mustache right." Is it true that they got the handlebars and the mullet in the video game too?
I think that they don't have like a full handlebar mustache in the game, so it's like halfway. It's not all the way down to the chin, but it's close. It's hilarious though that they actually do have that. Yeah, it's
Somebody
funny.
drop us a screenshot if you
Yeah,
can. Send it to
I'm
us so
sure
we can
someone's
put it
got
up. That's pretty badass.
I'm genuinely curious now. Now I want to go to
Yeah.
Target right after this and go get this game.
And
Yeah.
and who I also, with Ryan up there, they could simulate the fight in the game. That would be kind
Yeah,
of
there
fun,
you go.
right?
I'm sure someone's already done it. I think I have some guy on Twitter that's always tweeting me. He fights with me all the time in the game. It's hilarious.
I love it. That's so cool.
That's like a group of kids in Winston-Salem. They I think it was a COVID year. They simulated the rest of the season on the game. That's pretty interesting.
That's hilarious. Yeah, just to
Oh,
see
yeah.
who's gonna win.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I'm gonna let you guys chat for a second. I'm gonna text all the other boys so we can get them back. And just take me a second to send out the messages.
Sounds good.
So you guys carry on. If you see me looking at the screen all weird, I'm just sending out some messages.
All weird, tongue sticking
Yeah.
out.
Messenger, you're weird. How many you're weird messages can we get in the chat? That's for sure.
Yeah, let's hear it, guys.
Let them know.
So I
And
do have another question being up in the ECHL for you.
Yeah.
Are the fans more passionate up at that level, or are they more passionate down at the Fed level from your
I mean,
experience so far?
I don't know. It's been crazy being here because now, like, we're playing in front of 10,000 like regularly, like at home in our arena. It's like, it's just different, like in Danbury, it's so small that every person in the building knows each other. And I also haven't been here, I think, long enough to really like get to know the fans or like kind of be around as much. But yeah, it's totally different. I feel like the Fed is a little bit more intimate, smaller groups. Everybody kind of knows each other. Whereas here, it's like a literal big event. Like we sell out for 12,500, so it's a lot. It's a lot different, but it's loud. We just played in Toledo last weekend, and it was a really cool environment to play in. The place was packed, probably 8 or 9 thousand, and it was loud, like really loud, and it was fun. It's just fun to play and see these different environments and see the fans, and how crazy they get. It's fun. It's fun.
Any
Absolutely.
good chirps up there, or
Oh yeah, it's nonstop. You don't. I feel like now I got the target on my back. So
mm,
Do you have any pregame superstitions?
no, not really. No, I'm not like I there's certain things that I do kind of the same, and it's not like crazy. Wouldn't ruin my day or night if I couldn't have it or whatever. But I've definitely seen some. I've seen some guys that have some pretty crazy ones, and that you know just to having a juice on each side. I remember I had a goalie in Columbus. Well, Ian Viger. I don't know if you remember him in Columbus, but he would have. I remember he'd have two different types of Gatorade on each side of him, like in between every period. It was just like, and he did it all the time, and it was just one of those things you just don't mess with his drinks. But yeah, I'm not super. I'm not major superstitious at all.
Yeah.
There's definitely some things that I do regularly and a routine, which I think is good for anyone. But yeah, it won't ruin my night if I can't get something done or whatever.
Right.
I recently started covering the UHL, and I know you talked about him a little bit on your podcast, Talking Trash. What are your thoughts on that league so far?
Honestly, I think it's good. I think any league that comes up and gives people the ability to play hockey is good. At the end of the day, like, I haven't really like seen too much. There was a time where I was talking to a couple of those teams just because I wanted to play when I was suspended there, and I knew it wouldn't affect my suspension. I could still serve my suspension and play in that league, but I didn't end up playing any games. But yeah, I think anybody that's going to give guys the opportunity to play, it's good. Who knows? Maybe it can turn into something more, and they can start paying these guys, and who knows where it can go. But at the end of the day, I think it's good to test markets out and get more teams, the better. More hockey years to be played, the better.
Absolutely. I saw something where they're going from 12 teams this year to 48 next year, so I feel like that's a huge jump. But one thing that actually interested me about this season is they are actually going to try an all-star game. I'm sorry,
Cool.
an all-star weekend. So
Oh yeah, cool.
they're going to have skills competition, a couple games. So that's going to
Yeah.
be hosted in Buffalo. So I'm hoping to make it there.
That'd be fun. I don't know why every league doesn't do that. Like, obviously they don't do it in the Fed, or I don't know if they do it in the SP either, but it's great for the game, great for the league, great for the promotion, I think every league should do that. It's fun.
So I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on for Crossover. I'm so glad to hear
Yeah.
that things are going so well for you.
Thank you.
Up with the comments, like you really deserve it.
Appreciate it.
And
Thank you.
so we've got everybody back now. So we are gonna go to a quick break. We're gonna bring everybody in, and we're gonna let you guys have the floor and have some fun.
Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. legs on the chin. Just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Even if you take a few licks on the chin, just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn.
Oh, we weren't live?
We're live now.
Oh, shit.
What a waste.
Yeah.
All right, it was good chatting with you guys. I'll see you later. Thanks for having me.
Motherfucking each other.
Yeah.
No,
I thought we were live.
Fuck,
Now we're
Amesy
supposed
just
to pretend like we hate each other because we're live.
no,
yeah.
Amesy and Devo just brought up such a good point. Like, we don't hate each other. We love each other. We keep each other employed.
Yeah,
if it wasn't
exactly.
there would be no. Do we respect the game? Do we love fucking going to war against each other? 100%. And those fights are legit. Those fight every single time I punched every one of these three guys in the face, I gave it every single thing I had in my hand. But
did you get me,
do
Schmitty?
I?
No, I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding, bro. Well, it was only one.
God,
I knew you were the one guy on the show that was going to be a scoundrel. Okay.
Well, no, I just want to say I've played with like Amesy. I played with you, Divine, you, Schmitty. I've never played with you, but we fought now 10, 11 times, whatever it was. And guys, you guys, I'm so happy where all three of you are right now. I'm happy where I am. And I'm just proud of the climb, the battle. Like Schmitty, you were out of the game for a long time. You came back. Ames, same thing. Divine, you battled single A hockey forever, and now you're in the coast. And it's like,
well, I was out for 3 years still. Everybody here is retired at some point.
I know. Yeah. I even had a year off, I think.
Everybody here has been
fucking Pace has been playing for 25 years straight.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a big gap in his hockey resume. I wonder where he was at that point.
Yeah.
Joe,
you retired twice before I even was born.
Yeah,
Oh,
Joe was my player coach my rookie year.
No way.
Yeah.
So me and Pacer grew up in the minors together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
I knew Schmitty when he had hair.
Fuck, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
He had the biggest afro. Like you thought I had curly crazy hair. This guy, his hair was insane.
The ramen noodle.
It was so curly.
It was that was like, I think me and Pacer are the only two that played without windshields. I think you and I are the only two that were lucky enough to play in the minors without windshields.
Yeah, now we got to take our fucking buckets off and risk our noggins.
Nobody
does it in the coast. Nobody does it in the coast either. Like nobody ever wants to take the buckets off.
You guys should be grandfathered in with that. You like how the NHL advising stuff?
Joey, they just want Ian White did too, because like when Ian White came, he's like, I played in the NHL for 500 games without a fucking windshield.
Well, the first year of the Fed, Amesbury remembers when he came to Danville, there was me, Chris Affinati, Rob Schweier. On other teams, you had like Pierre Dagenet and some other guys that like, they were like, yeah, if you ever played in a league without a half shield, you don't have to wear one. And we were all like, cool. Like, and so that first year,
actually, I actually played my first game when I signed with you guys in Vermont. I didn't wear a visor.
Hold on. You mean when you signed with these guys?
Yeah.
I still got it.
The refs literally were like, yeah, we don't give a shit. And I was like, all right, I'm taking this thing off.
Thing had to go through surgery.
I should just, honestly, like, me and Pacer, like, we should just go one night, just like not wear them and just see if they say anything.
I've argued every summer at the league meetings. I argue like, be a real man's league. Everyone else is wearing shields. Take ours off.
There's no way they're doing that, man. They're too worried about someone losing an eye.
Hey, you said it earlier. Game soft.
Yeah.
Well, hey, somebody did lose an eye. That's why it's the FPHL. That's why it's not the FHL.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Kai Moji, I was there.
Wasn't he in Danville?
Yep.
And
there you go. Holy.
It was a slow thing too. It like stick hit him in the side of the head, and at first it was just like he had a black dot in his vision, and over time that blood vessels just died, and he lost 100% of vision in that eye, and it turned into a crazy thing. But hey, I did have that one down there for you, Amesy. But Divine, you remember this one?
One of the cooler logos, man. The Prowlers being the teeth, like that was. Well, you know what's funny?
Was a great year. This was a great year, Divine. I love you, buddy.
You know what's hilarious about that? With the teeth, the Prowlers being the teeth? Fraser didn't know that until after January. Funniest thing ever, man. I was the kid's roommate, and I was like, man, like I love this. So we're talking about logos. He didn't know that the word Prowlers were the teeth. Like he didn't understand it at all. And I was like, bro, what do you mean? You don't know our logo? He's like, no, what do you mean? And I was crying.
He didn't care. All he cared about was the team coats. Those coats are so cool. The coats, the team coats. We did have nice coats. We had nice coats.
The parkas. Yeah, we had.
Yeah.
Those were fucking $50 parkas. Come on.
What about our tracksuits when we were in Danville? I wear them now. I look like I'm rocking a early 90s tracker.
You still have one?
I have the jacket, I think, but I have pictures for sure. But I definitely have the jacket still.
I don't have the pictures, but I show everyone that brawl in up in Maine when there was the bench growing brawl, and I ran down out of the stands. I'm like fighting in a tracksuit on the bench. I'm like, wait for it. You're gonna see a white and gold tracksuit shoot on the bench right now. I'm like, oh, there's me. That's me. And we look so ridiculous.
Yeah, I think every team had like 4 legit heavies back then.
Oh my god.
The game was definitely different, and the league was different.
I had a guy. I had my buddy the other day that I played with in Denver in the Central League. He came and watched me the other day in Toledo, and after the game, I'm sitting there talking to him. He's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Dude." He's like, "Remember when because I was like barking at guys and stuff?" He's like, "So you just bark at guys like that? Nobody slashes you in the face?" I'm like, "No, man." He's like, dude, he's like, and there's no like 6'6", like 280-pound monsters like chasing you around. I'm like, no. He's like, the game's changed. What's going on? Everyone's small and fast and skilled. It's like so different.
Hey, so I have a question. When does Kansas City play Fort Wayne?
We already played, and my coach scratched me.
What?
Joe, fucking open a book, Joe.
Tough.
Come on,
a book? Who has a book?
Where have you been, man?
Google. I guess I
over
could
the
have
internet.
Googled it.
Yeah. Joe, do you still have to pay for your Wi-Fi? You got to plug it. You plugged in right now? Is that why you're at the rink?
No, he's on dial-up. He's on dial-up.
AOL.
You're stealing the rink Wi-Fi. That's why you got the backdrop.
Schmitty, what are you doing over there?
Me?
Yeah, what are you doing? Where are the eggs?
He's waiting for his eggs to boil.
Well, I'm just hanging out. I'm hanging out with you guys. Listen to you guys talk shit. I don't know. I'm just waiting for my cue to come in.
You know what? So I got a podcast. Amesbury's got Talking Trash with AJ. Schmitty's got Tub Talk. Divine, when are you going to step up your game and start something?
I can't. If I want to ref in the show, I gotta clean up social media.
If he wants to keep his porn career intact and like,
look at that handsome devil over there.
Nah, man. If I want to referee seriously,
can't let people know he was a pro hockey.
So what's the goal? You told me 2 years ago you wanted to ref. When are you going to make the jump?
They told me, so all my contacts, like I'll talk to the refs. Like we were out after the game in Boise, talk to the refs there. I've seen the refs here at McDonald's or Whataburger after the game. I'm always running to the refs, and I'm always like, hey, like what do I got to expect like at this combine, the referee combine in August, and they're like, man, like they're just be in shape. Because they're like, oh, you'll be like, I tell them, I'm like, hey, like any tips? Like I'm putting on the stripes next year. And they're like, just be in shape. They're like, you're already 6'4", 230. Like you'll go right to the show. So I'm like, all right, just got to be in shape. But
you know what? You guys know why I got cut from the NHL referee combine?
You went? I didn't even know you went.
I got so many answers. No, none.
Because my neck tattoos, they won't allow neck.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me though.
They won't allow visible tattoos.
Yeah.
That was like immediately.
You gotta pull out the makeup, cover up.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason I got to stop is they won't take you after 32 years.
They won't allow visible tattoos in the American League, in any NHL affiliated league, like even the East Coast League. Like they won't allow
yours goes pretty high. There's no way a turtleneck's gonna cover that.
No, they come up all the way to my.
Committee, don't you wear a neck guard though? You can't even see it.
Shut up, you fucking.
Oh my gosh, Ames, Divine, have you guys seen anyone wear neck guards in the coast this year after that?
Oh, yeah. I've got several teammates.
Yeah, I would say like a good amount. Yeah, on every team there's like a handful of guys.
Now we've all seen that incident. I 100% think that guy kicked on purpose at the guy's head. Do you think a neck guard would have saved his life?
No,
I don't know.
No,
I don't think so. I also like. Yeah, dude, that shit was crazy, man. I was thinking about it the other day.
It was just disgusting. It was disgusting.
Like, obviously, we've seen people get sliced open lately, like more. Is it just social media covering it, or is it like the blades are sharper?
No,
like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Now
we wouldn't have seen that.
Talk about it before.
That happened overseas. We wouldn't have seen that for like a year. We wouldn't have heard about that till this summer.
But I'm just saying, like, did this shit not happen? Like, did people not die from slices on their throat back in the day in like the 70s and 80s? Or was the steel just not as sharp? Is it new technology?
Honestly, the back of skates was like wide open back in the 60s and 70s.
Last season, I got kicked in the face and I had a fat line bruise on my face.
We had a guy last year get step on. Hey, you remember it? It was I think Danbury was in Biloxi and a guy on our team got his face stepped on. Kyle Russell, someone stepped on his face in the corner and he was gashed open. I've never seen a cut so deep.
Probably a sweet scar though.
Oh, he does look tough now. He's mean. He was a pretty boy before, but now
My
he's
buddy,
mean.
one of my buddies from back home, he's like, you know, those like lumberjack guys, like they're like whatever they're called, the games that they do. They like climb the trees and all that stuff, springboard and all that. He does that, and he was doing like one of the events, and he had to like put his axe in the tree above him before he climbs up on the springboard, and it fell down and sliced his face. Now he's got this giant Joker scar, but he's a lumberjack, so I'm like, it's kind of sick, dude. Like, you got a big axe wound on your face, and you're a lumberjack, like, you know what I mean?
I have a huge one right under my beard right here from Schmitty. He tried to dump a puck in and just fired it at my face.
Don't you dare!
You probably
say
did
that.
it on purpose.
I told him. After the game, I was like, "Hey, man! Like, we had like 3 fights that night. Like, the weekend was crazy. I jumped off the bench. Me and Ozo fought, and I was like, man, I'm like, I didn't know him that well. Like, you know, we just kind of started talking more. I'm like, did you shoot that at my face yesterday? And he's like, are you kidding me, Pacer? He's like, if I tried to hit you in the face, I would have missed by 10 feet.
Oh, you motherfucker! I can't get on here.
What do you mean?
I hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, there you go. You motherfucker! I never like. Yeah, I was like, man, why are you drawing? We're up 9-0 against Port Huron tonight. Why are you putting me out? Me and Joe have already fought twice, and I tried to dump the puck, and I avoided your face like I was not even. I was trying to dump in the corner, and it just came up.
There was a change. So, like, being a D-man, I tried to go to the far side of the ice. And I was trying to get from the bench to the left side. And, man, I'm, like, thinking he's just going to throw it in over my head. I see it come. I'm like, oh, and I got it right in the chin. Right in the chin.
I talked about earlier on the podcast. I talked about that night that we had a line brawl. There was a line brawl, and then you and me left the bench, and I was like, Pacer, let's just settle this shit down. Like, in the middle of the fucking line brawl.
What do you mean? You always would say that the game there would be like 1 slash in the first period, and Schmitty goes, hey, Pacer, you want to like just calm things down and just me and you get one out of the way? Like, tell the boys they could just play hockey. I'm like, there's been one power play. But yeah, so there was a huge scrum in between the benches, and Schmitty came off the bench, and him and Nick Williams were kind of jawing, and then all of a sudden I came behind Willie, and the minute Schmitty saw me on the ice, he was like, and the eyes got super big, and I was like, literally, we square up, and we're like feet away from each other, and I looked at him, I was like, man, we're getting suspended for this one, and we didn't even get suspended.
No, we didn't. We got kicked out of the game. They gave us game misconduct.
What do you mean? The goalies fought right after us.
We had a bloodbath together. And then we left the ice, and we both met in the hallway, and we both had Budweisers, and we were both on oxygen.
I had a walker. I made it down to you with my walker. I was sliding my tennis ball walker down the hall.
They're pumping us full of oxygen. We're just donkeying beers, and we're talking about. And Bailey McBurney got his face split open, and he was getting stitched up. And we're sitting in the trainer's room in Columbus. I know, like Devo, I know, like the people listening don't know how, but like the player, like our players, like the players' hallway is the same whether it's visiting or home team. So we all went to the same training room. So me and Pacer are both fucking donkeying Bud Light or Bud Heavies, probably. We didn't drink Bud Light. And
Dude, we did not. Never in my life have I ever had one of those. But no, we were sitting in the room and we were talking about life and fighting and hockey and the old days, and all the kids, anyone that was in that hallway was trying to peek in on us. And I think we finally just slammed the door in their face, and we probably hung out in there for another hour till the game ended.
Yeah. But it was one of the most special moments of my career. You know, like we just finished fighting in front of 7,000 people, and there was no animosity or anything. It was just me and my buddy competing against each other.
The one of my favorite pictures is me and you in Port Huron, last regular season game of the year 2 years ago, and same thing. We fought, got kicked out, went right upstairs, grabbed beers, came down by you by the visiting room, hung out, drank, took pictures, hung out, whatever it was for an hour, just shooting the shit.
Yeah, but there was never any animosity like between the four of us. Between the four of us, like we always knew what our responsibility was.
No, when Divine was on Danbury, I hated him.
Really?
When he was a whaler, I was like, who is this fucking guy?
Yeah,
Really?
that was probably the first time I was ever scared of someone by judging them by their cover, and then I realized how soft he was, and I was
Here
just
we
like,
go.
who is this grandpa?
Oh my gosh.
Joe's tough. He'll win a championship by slashing the other team's best player in the collarbone, and
that happened. That did
It's a wily
happen.
veteran move.
Yeah.
Listen, so that story, Divine was there. So Patch, front of the net, I get Ryan Patch in the ribs, he falls. He goes to the corner, he tries to get the puck, I plow him into the boards, he falls. He goes back to the front of the net, back, falls again. I go for a change, and I'm going in the door at the visiting bench in Danbury, the D door in the third period. And I turn around, and he's right there, and he reaches like he's going to spear me. And before the stick could get close to me, I just wham and just baseball, just blasted him. And I thought it was going to be an old school stick fight. He came with his stick, and he was ready to spear. And I was like, I'm going to knock this stick away, and then we're going to brawl.
If there was a stick fight now, you'd get kicked out of a league, dude. Any league. I swear.
Hey, hold on. So I'm on this call with King of the Rink 1, King of the Rink 2, and King of the Rink 3. And
Joe,
I've been thinking,
everyone knows that.
and I think I've been thinking about this all day. I'm like, Biloxi is the home of bare knuckle MMA, bare knuckle boxing. When are you boys gonna come down here?
I thought Wyoming was.
No, Wyoming's trash. Come on.
That's what's his
Biloxi,
name?
Mississippi. No, Biloxi, Mississippi.
So me and AJ, we got the Major League Hockey fights we just launched. So it might be better that me and Divine didn't fight for free in that game. Do it for some real money.
Yeah. I as soon as I turned on the pod, I watched the YouTube and they're asking about you not suiting up in Fort Wayne, and I literally said to my roommate, I was like, that's the only reason that he didn't play was because it was a chess match, and you watching. I was watching from the bench the whole third period.
Yeah, and like I said, I said it earlier when I was on it.
Yeah,
I was
pissed to let match lines. They both wanted to beat each other because Fort Wayne has been the king of the ECHL.
We just had three guys come down from the A, and we got so many contracted guys. The extra spots, it's like between three guys. You know what I mean? And one of them at that point was literally our captain. I think it was me and him actually sat that game, and he was in the next one. I didn't play, but yeah, man, there's I was pissed about it, and then after watching the game, I kind of respected the decision.
Yeah, after the game, I was like, okay. I was like, they wanted to win, and so did we. Because like right before our game, our coach was like fuck those Fort Wayne beat reporters. Like they love, I don't know, they love just chirping everybody but Fort Wayne. And he really wanted to win this game. And then when I'm sitting there in the third period, like watching, okay, our first D pairing go against their first line, and our second D pairing going against their second line. It was literally first line, second line, just rotating. And I was watching great hockey. I was a little bit closer to the ice than Amesbury.
You had a front row seat. I was in the bleeds.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was looking for y'all game when I wasn't playing anymore in the third. I was like, I'm not getting another shit. I started looking around, and I saw you.
I was up. I think. Maybe that was which. I don't remember where I was.
You were over my right shoulder. I saw you.
The back corner. Yeah.
I was looking for handlebars, and then I saw it.
Well, hey guys, I just got to interject I got to give you like a 5-10 minute warning, because we got to wrap at like the 2-hour mark. So not trying to cut you off. I just wanted to give you guys just your 5-10 minute warning.
Before we started, what the fans don't know is what we were telling everyone was on this is we're all talking every day anyway. So why aren't we doing this? And that's how this all came to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're somehow always texting each other or calling or sending each other stuff on Instagram. So This is awesome, guys.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And like I said it before when we weren't on the air, but I just want to thank all you guys for keeping the trade alive and keeping me employed, at every level. At the end of the day, that's kind of what we do. And I remember a long time ago, about 11 years ago, my first year in the Central League, I got pulled over. It was Justin Sawyer, the guy I fought in the finals of Ice Wars. We had just fought in Rapid City, and we're in the penalty box. He said, "Hey, Ames, what hotel are you staying at?" And I tell him, and he goes, "All right." And then I'm walking in the hotel after the game, and I see this big guy in a little car. It's like his arms can almost hang out the window of this car. And he goes, "Hey, Ames, you're coming with me." And I'm like, "What?" And I see Saw sitting, the bone saws in the car. He's like, "You're coming with me." And I'm like looking at my teammates and like, "You just fought that guy." I'm like, "All right, I'll see you boys later." Hop in with him, takes me back to his house. His girlfriend makes us dinner. We sit there and have a beer, and he gives me the veteran lecture. I was 22 or whatever at the time, and he gives me the veteran lecture, like, "Hey, Ames, like, we got to keep each other employed here. Like, at the end of the day, you being here gives me a job. Me being here gives you a job. We got to fight each other every game and make sure the boys are, everybody knows why we're here and this and that." And I was just like, holy shit, this is a crazy talk to be getting right now. I was still wet behind the ears. I was 22 and coming into a league during the NHL lockout. I'm fighting all these NHL guys. And when he told me that, I was like, holy, I never thought about that. And it just gives you this other gratitude. It's like, it's true, man. If we would all go extinct if it wasn't for each other. So it's kind of cool.
It's so true. I mean, Amesy, you're one of my best friends in the whole world. We go to bloodbaths. We have bloodbaths against each other when we fight each other.
And people don't get it too. It's hard to understand it.
Last year in the playoffs, and we fought once early in the game, and your hand was all fucked up. And like, I gave you the time. I gave you the time to take the shit off your hand, and you still your helmet off. And I was like, "Are you to fucking take your helmet off?" He's like,
"Oh yeah,
oh,
that was hilarious."
Like,
I was so worried about taking this damn splint off my finger so I could drop my both gloves, because I was fighting with one glove for half the season because I had my torn pinky. And then I took this thing off, and then I go to square up with Schmitty. Schmitty's like, "What about your helmet?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." Take my helmet off. Yeah. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that."
Well,
Schmitty. Just get a quick chuckle and then start punching each other in the face.
So we had that bloodbath.
Yeah.
And we had a bloodbath on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was fucking going after fucking somebody.
Ojek. It was Ojek. I'll never forget it. Because me and there was a
cross. He's so hard, and I was like,
I think he was mic'd up for that.
I was.
All you hear is, "You piece of shit, you piece of shit, you piece of shit."
I had a really connection with Ojek because Ojek's dad I met him before I ever played for Danbury, and his son was on the team. And his dad had just passed away. So I had this deep connection. His dad's like, "Make sure you take care of my son," this and that, right? So I always protected Ojek more. That was my number one guy. Like, nobody touches Ojek. And then Schmitty's going after him. And then Billy looks at me and he just goes, "Ames, get out there." And Billy's a fucker too. Because he knew what he was doing when he said it.
Billy was my rookie, man. Like, I played pro for 5 years before Billy fucking even set foot on fucking pro.
Yeah. And Billy goes, "Don't be so fucking nice to him this time."
Oh,
I'm like, "What did you just say?" Now I'm pissed. Now I'm like, "Fuck you, Billy." And I'm kind of like, I'm taking this out, and I don't even want to look at Schmitty, because as soon as I look at him, he's gonna crack me up. I'm gonna laugh. So I line up beside him, and I'm trying not to look at him. I'm like, just telling him, like, "Schmitty, as soon as I'm pissed, I'm coming. And then I couldn't even wait for the puck drop, because I'm like, I'm gonna look at this guy and start laughing. So I just cross-checked him and just shed my shit right away. So I couldn't even wait till the puck drop, because I was like, I don't want to not be mad. I'm supposed to be mad right now.
But no. So the funny thing, you got booted. So that's my second. We're down 8-0. Our season's over. And I look up into the fucking press box, and you're sitting with fucking AJ Galante, and you and AJ are both fucking drinking beer, sitting up there. And
AJ wasn't. AJ doesn't drink, but I definitely was.
Or you were drinking beer, and you're sitting there, and you and AJ are sitting there, and you fucking wave at me like this, and I was like, "You motherfucker!" I'm so fucking right now.
You'd rather be drinking than flying right now.
Oh yeah. That's one good thing for Danbury Arena. When you get kicked out, you get to go have a couple pints upstairs. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a good setup for that.
Yeah,
Hey,
they didn't
boys,
have that when I was there.
Right before we got on the first time, I called Chris Affinati, and he just wanted me to say hi to all three of you guys, because that guy misses playing so bad. He would fly in to fight all three of you right now. Oh,
He's surprised he's not still playing.
Like if they were to make a Mount Rushmore of this league, Affinati would definitely be on it. You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean? One year he played like 23 games and had 21 fighting majors. I'm like, and he had 25 points. I'm like, it's just unreal. I love him. But
20 years of my career.
I know, right?
I talked the other night. I buried the other night against Bingo.
Nice. It was probably one of those goals that didn't cross the line and they counted it anyway.
My gosh, who saw that goal?
That was
I love it. AJ broke that down. That was wild.
Didn't you guys see my gutless comment giving Doug Kernan a shout out?
No. Who's Doug? Who's Doug?
Sorry, I'll probably get us all kicked out of the league. Sorry.
His name's Don.
Don, whatever. I don't know his name. Doug.
Whoever. Doug, Don.
I call him Doug. I call him Doug. I call him what I want to call him.
Yeah, that's why you got booted from the league. You called him Doug.
I call him Son.
Oh gosh.
Come here, boy.
Hey, Divine, how many games are left in your team's regular season?
I don't know. I think we've got
20 something probably.
We've got 13 away games and 9 home games. So 21, I think. Man. Yeah. We're about to break a record. I just saw a cool stat. It was only 26 is the most road wins in a season, and we're at 20, and we've got 13 games left.
Oh, you're on your way to a ring, Devo. Another ring.
Hey,
no, but I mean, you're close.
Me and Schmitty could just knock right here.
You three have all won rings. You know what? I've never put a ring on my finger winning a championship. I've never. Devo stole one off my finger with Watertown when I was with Columbus. I lost one in the finals with Huntsville. I lost one in the Central League, and I lost a couple Allen Cup finals. But I've never won a championship.
These are all finals you've lost in?
Yeah.
That's fuck. I've lost in the finals once in the Central.
Fuck, you're the cancer, man. It's
fuck off.
You're 0 for 5.
Yo, we need a Divine podcast. Divine needs a podcast.
Are you telling me you're 0 for 5 in the finals?
That's correct. Yeah.
Damn. I'm sorry,
Schmitty. We got to change that. I got 3 rings, guys, and
we got to make it. No, hold on. We got to make a Joe Pace. We got to make a Joe Pace move here. The season ends, and you trade yourself to the number 1 team in the league. There you go.
Hey, literally, my father traded me. I didn't know what was happening. That Kraz was the mastermind behind that. Trevor Kraz was like, we were like a month past the trade deadline.
Right now, let's talk about minor league legends.
This podcast is ending.
Trevor Krasowicz is one of my favorite human beings that ever walked the face of the earth.
Hey guys, I so don't want to cut you guys off.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're about to make everyone so mad.
I know, and I don't want to, and I really don't want to.
All 30 viewers right now.
I got my toddlers are just waking up right now anyway, so the timing's perfect for me.
We have a solid 69 viewers right now, currently, which is awesome. But if you guys want to do this again, seriously, let me know. We can arrange it, because this has been awesome, and I could seriously listen to you guys for another 2 hours. But yeah.
Oh yeah, we forgot. We thought we were just talking.
I know, and that's why.
Wait, we've been live this whole time?
I didn't know we started.
Yes.
I thought this was a recording.
Can you imagine? All right, going live in 3, 2.
Yeah, I messed that up all night long. I'm so sorry, especially to Ryan.
Oh gosh. Well, I love you boys. I love every one of you. Ames, keep it up. Divine.
Yeah.
Your last 21 games in playoffs, buddy. I'll be watching the box scores.
Yeah, then you'll be watching me on NHL Network blow games on a offsides call because I fell and missed an offsides call.
Misplaced.
Oh gosh. Oh man.
I'm just so lucky to have all three of you guys as my friends, to be honest with you, and like that we went to war against each other and you know,
Nothing
like
beats it.
we're so blessed to have this game, this frozen game that people pay to play, let their kids play in Canada, and we get paid to play.
Right.
Yeah. Well, hey, what were we saying before we went live? We were just talking about how, like I had mentioned it, Ames, you were talking a little bit briefly before it, but about how like I'm more in contact with guys that I fought than you know, roommates that I've had playing pro the last 9 years. Like it's just without each other, we don't have a job. So
yeah, it's been pretty cool. I honestly, the King of the Rink thing was cool for that too, just reconnecting people and like for me anyways. But yeah, man, I talked to Siegel. I used to hate that guy's guts, man. Like every time we connected with each other on the ice, it was an elbow or a high stick or a cross check, and the refs would just let us go after each other all game, and we hated each other's guts. From the last game I played him, he always wanted one of my sticks because we had Hooters sticks back then. Our team was sponsored by Hooters, and he was always like, "Fuck you, Ames," but he's like, "I want one of your sticks. I want one of your sticks." And played my last game against him, and I gave him my last Hooters stick. I still don't have one of those.
Hopefully he still has it.
He does. I know he does. He sent me pictures of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, this bond we created through whatever we did, like, you know, it wasn't pretty for sure, but we created a pretty unique bond between all of us, you know, and not to say that we aren't going to go to war against each other again.
Yeah,
I look forward to doing a podcast with you guys one day.
Dude,
just a bunch of savages.
You realize we're all on a podcast and they're all muted. It's just us talking to each other. For the last half hour. Say everyone, but
you're just giving us the platform.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, remember me if you ever need a guest host for that fun podcast. I'd love to come hang out.
Let's do it, boys.
Guys, this was so much fun. Like it was like shooting the shit with my buddies again.
We're gonna need a second pod for this.
Dude, everyone share this. This thing's gonna get 1 million views.
It better get 1 million views.
Okay,
and if
Joe.
you guys want to do this again, hit me up. We'll make it happen. And I appreciate you guys so much.
If Divine shares it, it's going viral.
Divine, you got to share this for us.
I have the least amount of following here. You've got a co-owner and fucking bare knuckle. You know, this guy's got to share one video and Barstool's repulsing it. Like, what do you mean?
How about all you guys
I'm not
share
an
it, and we'll see
I'm
what
not
we
an
can make
influencer
happen.
anymore, Joe. I'm not an influencer anymore. I'm not fucking teaching spin on a bike. It doesn't go anywhere.
Man, that was a good stage of your life, bud.
Yeah, I was under 200 pounds. It was fantastic.
When
he worked in New York City, he was working at Soul Cycle.
Spin at Soul Cycle from 2017 to 19.
Your point career?
You were doing the shovel crew at the Rangers game.
I was doing that, and I was shoveling Henrik Lundqvist's crease. Well, I don't know if you guys have heard this story, but I was telling this pod earlier that like it was the best job ever because I would go and teach spin in this black room for an hour, two or three classes, go home, eat 4 slices of 99-cent pizza, and then wake up, work out, and then go rollerblade to the garden, and then eating soft serve, watching McDavid play sewer. It was awesome, but crazy story. I'm like, you know what? I'm going by the bench. I want to see McDavid. Like, I just want to skate by him. Like fanboy, like I'm older than this kid and I'm fanboy. And I'm like, so I skate by the bench and one of those screws is popping out of the dasher on the kick plate. My shovel hits the screw. I got to stop. I got a kid behind me. I go again. I hit the same fucking screw. And guess what? Milan Lucic goes, "It's all right, bud. You got it. Like, keep going." And I'm like, "Oh, man. Fucking, I can't say anything to this guy. You want to go?" I'm like, "No, I can't." Like, man. God, that was the hardest chirp that I still have nightmares about. That Lucic goes, "It's all right, buddy, you got it."
Hey, before we leave,
I can't even shovel snow on an NHL shoot, man.
Before we guys, before we leave, you guys, what's the worst chirp a guy's ever given you guys?
Doug Kernan.
Doug.
I've heard some funny ones. I got a funny one. I got it's a little rated R, but I have a buddy who's still playing, and he was playing with me in the SB. He's in the Fed now, and he'll say just stupid shit. He goes, hey, buddy, I've blown bigger dudes than you in prison, and he just what? those are the best.
Well,
you get
a good
one up for face-off draw, and you get him to turn around and go, "What did you say?"
Wait. There was a good one in Danville years ago. What was that guy's name? Pulowski.
Yeah,
Pulowski.
So Affinati looks at Pulowski and goes, "Hey, hey Pulowski, give me a go." Pulowski looks over him and goes, "Absolutely not." And he goes, "You're as big as my dick." And Affy looks at him, he goes, "Then you got a little dick."
I had one chirp when I first came to the SP. I remember Joe, remember Port Huron? I think I had 25 fights that year. And that was 2016. Okay. I get called up to Pensacola 2019. And we're playing against Macon or something, or Roanoke. And I chip the puck in and the goalie freezes it and I stop right in front of him. And I just look around, I start smiling. They go, "What are you smiling at?" And I go, "I know none of you are going to do shit." And they go, "Okay, buddy, no one knows who you are." Fucking 25 fights in the Fed. And I go, "That's exactly how many I had my last season playing. How are you going to chirp me and say no one knows you? And then say exactly how many fights I had." That was so reverse. I just what? You're an idiot.
Yeah.
You clearly looked at my stats and then chirped me and said, "You nobody." It's well, you clearly looked me up because you're fucking scared.
The worst chirp I ever got in my career was we were in a scrum. I was in the Central League. I was playing for Rocky Mountain, and we were playing against Fort Collins. They were the Colorado Eagles, they were called. And I was in the middle of a scrum, and I'm like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." And Sean Robertson was their captain, and he turns and goes, "Hey, Schmitty, go find a friend." And I turned around, and my teammates were at the fucking bench.
People have been calling me old the last 10, 12 years. And finally in the last 5, I've just they're like, "Oh, Pace, you're so old." I was like, "Bro, I got more games suspended than you have played." And they look at me, I'm 260 games suspended, buddy. I'm call me when you're at 260.
Yeah. I got more fights in this league than you have games played.
Yep, there it is.
I can still say that to a lot of people.
What's the one Jason Price gets in the SP?
I've never been a guy to chirp guys on personal stuff.
Yeah,
that shit's crazy. That shit's crazy. There's some gutless dudes around that say some crazy shit. It's crazy.
I've had guys message me after games and say, "Hey man, I'm so sorry."
You know what I hate the most? When fan pages go personal. I'm sorry for everybody, whatever. I absolutely think that is the most gutless. Just I don't know, man. It's just man, who cares? If you act like you've never done something wrong in your life, or you've never made a mistake in your life, that's how these people act. They've never made a mistake in their life. Nobody follows every step that they've done. So they can say whatever they want because people know mistakes that we've made. But I actually can't stand that, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Even seeing the people that I hate the most in the league get chirped on some of the personal shit that they go through, I absolutely lose respect when I hear that shit. I don't think anybody should even comment on that shit, personally.
I agree with you. You guys,
Schmitty,
talking
about shit.
Shut up, Anna. Let it go.
No, I know. I just got a message from my producer. He's I've tried to wrap it up because there's nothing.
I get everybody revved up right before.
Anna, you can go. We'll let you know you can hit end.
Just shoot me a text when I can come back, sign us off. I'm good to go.
I actually hate to rev everyone up and bounce, but both my toddlers are buzzing around the house right now, so I gotta go.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I love all you guys.
Thank you guys.
Well, let's see.
Okay, I'll call you. I'll call you guys in 2 minutes.
Yep.
Goodbye.
All right, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you check out Sean over at Bench Minor. He's got merch. Got some like pretty cool shirts, so check those out. And guys, if you want to do this again, get back in touch with me. And I appreciate you guys on crossover night. Yeah, Mississippi's got some merch too. All right, y'all. Y'all be good.
Seawolvesmerch.com. See you guys.
On the chin, just keep your head down, carry on.